So Bayern Munich are playing Monchengladbach. We just had that result versus PSG 1-0 in the Champions League. But as I said in my post-match tactical analysis about the day after the match, which I always upload to come back after the matches for these, but I said that I wasn't happy with Bayern Munich's performance. And the reason I wasn't happy with Nagelsmann's decision to bench Thomas Muller, because Thomas Muller makes Choupo-Moting, Musiala, everyone, Coman, around him better, and the attack was faltering against PSG. Don't let this win deceive you. Attackers didn't play well. A good performance from Coman and the shambolic, abysmal tactics by Gatelier and PSG were why Bayern won. It wasn't because of Nagelsmann's strengths. It wasn't because of a tactical masterclass. We were lucky despite not having good tactics, in fact. And it'll be very interesting, very telling to see what Nagelsmann does in this match versus Monchengladbach. Monchengladbach 10th in the league now, but they have a decent coach, Daniel Fark. They were doing well at the start of the season. Their form has been spotty, to say the least, recently. But how will Bayern Munich line up? So this is how. So we know Coman appears to have a slight knock, so that's why I predict that he'll be on the bench this game. Nagelsmann has a presser later. We might find out more about this. But, of course, he could replace Davies in this formation. But I think we will see this backline of De Ligt, Pavard, and Upamecano. I think Pavard will be on the right-hand side, actually, here. I've drawn him on the left-hand side, because that's where he was playing versus PSG when Mbappe came on. But Pavard, right, De Ligt, centre, Upamecano centre, De Ligt, left. Sorry, this is sloppy from me. Like Bayern, who were a bit sloppy against an incredibly just poor PSG side. I think we will play this 3-1-4-2 type action, though, because you have Kimmich here in the centre, and then Goretzka and Sane will be the two centre mids, I think. I guess I could see one of Goretzka or Kimmich being benched, but it's very unlikely, because Goretzka-Kimmich had a good performance, Goretzka had a great performance now 2 games ago, so I think it's likely we'll see these two together. So that means that we'll probably see Sane here, and we'll probably see Musiala in this attacking midfield slot. But as I said, when Musiala plays as the lone attacking midfield slot, like in that game versus PSG, he isn't given the room to be quite in these half spaces. He's a bit locked in the centre. And in the centre, there's usually lots of defenders. It's a bit harder to get those spaces. There's a little less space for Musiala-esque dribbling. So, honestly, Musiala maybe played better when he was in that left centre mid role that Goretzka will probably play. But one good thing for Musiala is at least Muller is going to be playing up top in this game, I think. But I think that's a bad thing overall, because even though Muller will be playing, if he's playing at striker, everyone knows that Muller is not a striker. Everyone knows Muller doesn't play well at striker. Even against PSG, I'm the biggest Muller fan. I will say that Muller played poorly at striker versus PSG, because that's something he simply is not. At striker, he's just not good. He's not physical enough. He's not strong enough anymore. And he can't maraud in these half spaces, which I'm drawing, that he loves to roam. He can't be on the left, on the right. He can't be in all areas of the pitch like he usually is. He has to stay in that front bit, and that dilutes him. It makes him worse than what he actually is. And that's why I think Muller needs Choupo-Moting to act as a foil for him. Muller needs that target man striker, and then Muller can make the runs behind. This is what we were seeing the other games where Muller was playing in this Musiala role and Choupo-Moting was front. Say Muller is Musiala and Choupo-Moting is Muller. Muller would make these runs in behind Choupo-Moting. Choupo-Moting would be that stable figure up front, and then Muller would be able to roam in these areas. So this is what I want to see. I want to see Muller. I want to see Muller here. I want to see Choupo up front, and then I want to see Musiala in front instead of Sane. But what I think we will see is what I was saying, is Sane in those central midfield slots. but that's not what I want. What I want to see is Muller in behind, Choupo-Moting, but then still play Goretzka, because Goretzka will still provide that midfield balance, because I think the one thing, especially in the big game, Nagelsmann's not willing to just have a one-man midfield of Kimmich. He wants Goretzka to provide the balance, to be able to drop back and really be a six. But I think this type of tactic could work really well, where you have Goretzka and Kimmich sort of becoming like 2 sixes here, and then you would have Muller and Musiala both as cams. But even better, not both of them would be central, both of them would be slightly to the left or to the right. So Musiala, for example, could be slightly to the left and Muller slightly to the right, and that would mean Muller would be able to attack this right half space in here. Musiala would be able to interact with Davies, attack this left half space, and I think that's the best solution for Bayern. But that means benching Sane, and yes, Sane maybe hasn't been that good the past few games, but we've seen how good he's shown to be this season, which is why it's really hard for Nagelsmann right now, because all of the players are fit. Add Sadio and Mane to the mix, and it's even more players are fit, like 7-8 players for five slots. So it means 2 world-class players really are being benched at any one time. For example, in this one, it'd be Gnabry and Coman and Mane being benched. But even then, it's just hard. So I appreciate it's hard for Nagelsmann, but even then, the performance versus PSG, I don't think it was very good. I'll be hoping to see more against Monchengladbach. Dortmund won their Champions League game. Dortmund are right on their tails. They've won every game in the league this season. We have a great, important matchup versus Union Berlin coming up later in the season. So it's really important Nagelsmann gets these points in the Bundesliga. And frankly, if Muller plays at striker, I think our attack will just be as dead as it has been at some times this season. I think we'll struggle to score. So I hope we don't see that happen. I said this before the PSG and I didn't get my wish, but Muller, Musiala and Choupo-Moting all to play together is what I want to see. I need to see Muller and Choupo-Moting interacting. Choupo can provide the foil for Muller to go in all these spaces. And an additional thing to say is, not only does Muller make Musiala, Goretzka, Choupo better, but he also, because he does such work in this right half space, he's often going out wide, and that would allow Cancelo to really cut inside, for example. So he really improves the players who are acting in that wing-back position, who are acting in that half space, so that they can come in. He sometimes peels off so he can get crosses in, but simply put, the attack was not good versus PSG. Muller had been playing very well in the previous weeks, and Nagelsmann in his press conference before the game, when he was saying why Muller was on the bench, he was saying that it was between Muller and Choupo-Moting, but that shouldn't be the case. The fact that Nagelsmann thinks that is very worrying, because simply put, Choupo-Moting is much better when Muller is there, but Muller is also much better when Choupo-Moting is there. They form a symbiote circle. They need each other, so I want them to be together in this game versus Mönchengladbach. Otherwise, I think we'll struggle, and Mönchengladbach, yes, they don't have Jan Sommer, but they have been a bogey team in the past, so I'm worried about this game. Score prediction, I'm going to say 3-1. But, honestly, I could see a 1-1 draw. I could see a 2-1 draw. I could even see a loss. I'm worried about Nagelsmann's tactics right now. I'm not sure. I thought he had learned his lesson. Muller came into the team and we were starting to play well again. We were starting to get up wins. I know we won versus PSG, but it wasn't a great performance. And that was a historically shambolic PSG side. So come back for my tactical analysis, see if I'm ranting or I'm raving about Nagelsmann. It depends whether we see Choupo, Muller, Musiala all together in the side. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Alternately, it could be a four-back formation, something like this. Pavard at right back, and then it could just be a simple 4-2-3-1 like this. And I would welcome this, maybe Sane instead of Cancelo in this instance, or Gnabry instead of Cancelo. Or it could even be Muller benched again, but I don't think that Nagelsmann's going to do that, especially after Muller played those games. I'd also welcome a 4-2-3-1 like this with Musiala on the wing, and in fact, Musiala plays not that good when he's the central cam in the 4-2-3-1. I was talking about this earlier. But he has a bit less space. On the left, he can get in those half spaces and he can really employ his tactics between the lines. But anyway, we'll see what Nagelsmann brings. I'm not enthused about what I've seen recently. Come back for the post-match analysis. Thank you. Bye.